Well, one man's quest to find a job is raising questions about the labor shortage right now. He says he applied to more than 60 entry-level positions. Entry-level. But he got one interview, and he's not the only one. As Fox 13's Jordan Bowen reports, jobs are posted, people are qualified, but for some, in fact for many, the hiring isn't happening.
I usually don't like to talk about serious stuff here because all I get in the comments are guys that still have cum stains on their lip. But today I'm going to answer the question, why does every business say they are hiring, but no one is actually getting hired?
According to a survey of more than 1,800 job seekers by the career site FlexJobs, 42% say employers were unresponsive.
The reason is simple. It's because people have started to realize that they could get away with running the business with a bare minimum amount of employees and still make the same amount of money as before. Like honestly, why do you need to hire more people if the business is making more money than before with fewer employees? So why even put up the for hire sign? Well, you see, the now hiring sign is not actually to hire people, it's there for moral support for the current employees that's already working inside the store. They give them the illusion that help is coming, but in reality, the business is going to stretch this out for as long as they can. If you decide to quit, then they have a ton of people available to take your place.
Azam also previously worked as a medical assistant and has a bachelor's degree, but has been out of work for the last 5 months after her former employer reduced her hours. Now she says no job is off the table. She's applied for entry-level jobs at Target, Walmart, TJ Maxx, McDonald's, Outback Steakhouse, and anywhere else that's hiring, but hasn't received a single interview.
They just say, we are waiting for the hiring manager to come and they can call you back.
And because the government forced business and restaurants to close, after they reopened, we learned to appreciate a lot of little things that we used to take for granted. So we are willing to put up with the small amount of bullshit, the long lines, the slow service. They tell their employees they can't find anyone because of COVID. They tell their customers that no one wants to work because of COVID. And the reason why my dad doesn't love me is also because of COVID.
Doesn't make any sense. If everybody's hiring and everybody's so desperate for employees, then why aren't they even responding to an email?
So he started an experiment, applied to 2 jobs a day for 30 days. Of the 60 positions he applied to, he received 9 email responses, 1 follow-up call, and 1 interview for a construction job advertised as a full-time position paying $10 an hour, but turned it down when he learned it was only part-time.
This is an unpopular opinion, but I feel like COVID is the best thing to happen to any business because it gives the shitty business a reason to close and default on their loan, and it makes the good business busier than ever. It doesn't matter if you're in a red state or a blue state, this is going on everywhere. The video I'm showing you right now is from Florida. COVID did not give people the death, the destruction, and the destabilizing of society as people expected. If anything, it increased our tolerance to let people put their dick in our asshole a little longer and fuck us a little harder. Trump might have given us fake news, but COVID gave us essential workers. Remember that? Remember we used to have parades for essential workers?
Mayor de Blasio announced a ticker tape parade to honor those essential workers who helped guide the city through the pandemic.
It's a day to celebrate and appreciate the heroes who often go unsung. We're going to sing about them this day.
A week later, Governor Cuomo countered with his own announcement.
This Labor Day 2021, a couple of months, New York State is going to open the Circle of Heroes Monument to essential workers.
19 red maple trees symbolizing different COVID-19 essential workers, from food workers to firefighters to teachers. It will also have a large plaque that includes the governor's name at the top.
But while the ticker tape parade went forward as promised, Governor Cuomo's plan to feature 19 red maple trees and an eternal flame at the southern tip of Manhattan almost immediately hit the rocks. When bulldozers showed up in Battery Park City to start clearing trees, local residents blocked them.
Enough. It's just enough. We deserve the right to have a public input process. This is our front lawn.
I just realized Andrew Cuomo's whole career was ended by a bunch of Karens. And this Karen right here is the unsung hero of COVID. Andrew Cuomo, you might not be president, but you will always be my president. If there's one thing to take away from all of this, it's always listen to Anthony Fauci. Watch this.
There's a lot of confusion and misinformation surrounding face masks. Can you discuss that?
The masks are important for someone who's infected to prevent them from infecting someone else. Right now in the United States, people should not be walking around with masks.
You're sure of it? Because people are listening really closely to this.
Right now, people should not be walking. There's no reason to be walking around with a mask. When you're in the middle of an outbreak, wearing a mask might make people feel a little bit better, but it's not providing the perfect protection that people think. There are unintended consequences. People keep fiddling with the mask and they keep touching their face.
About getting some sort of a covering. We don't want to call it a mask because back then we were concerned we would be taking masks away from the healthcare providers. But some sort of mask-like facial covering, I think for the time being, should be a very regular part of how we prevent the spread of infection.
More for me, less for you. We lied to you for your own good. Even though we know masks will help, we didn't trust you enough not to buy all of them. The funny thing about this is that he's not talking to the anti-maskers, because those fuckers still haven't bought a single mask to this day. The problem is this fucker is Italian. And yes, I'm racist against Italian politicians. So far, 110% of Italian politicians has lied to my face for their own fucking benefits and trying to convince me that I'm gonna die, but they are gonna be the one to save me. Go fuck yourself. You killed Jesus.
Dr. Fauci, quickly, how does this all end?
You know, it ends it depends on the nature of the outbreak. I mean, this could be a major outbreak. I hope not. Or it could be something that's reasonably well controlled. At the end of the day, this will ultimately go down.
Yes, I'm Dr. Anthony Fauci, you see. I only serve under like 6 different presidents. The fuck I know. It's either gonna kill everybody or it's not. Think of me as a fucking weatherman of death.